Well, hello everyone and welcome to the garden here at the house. It's been a while since I've done an episode here, so I'm really excited actually. It's fall obviously, and things start to die down in the fall. And so one of the things that I had set out to do in my time here, because I do go to college and I come back to do filming and to teach you all and to show you all what I like to do in the garden. So basically I had a couple things I wanted to get done today. And so I thought it'd be a great opportunity, since I've had a lot of people asking me about how to prep your garden for the winter time, or how to prep it for spring, foreseeing past winter and the growing season next year. So it's really smart to begin doing that. And there's a couple ways that you can do that. Now with raised beds, I've had a lot of people ask me, what are a good cover crop for raised beds? Now I always choose clover in this sense, because clover has a very shallow root system. Is a legume, which means it does not really hurt the soil. You know, you could plant stuff like like daikon radishes and stuff, and that really loosens the soil well, and it will break down and add nutrients over time. But it is in a sense, it's a rather heavy feeder in my opinion for a cover crop. So what I like to do is I like to plant clover if I do choose any cover crop at all, because clover can be bought at pretty much any hunting supply store, any outdoor outfitters. You can go to the hunting section and buy the deer plot clover. It's your basic clover. It's going to be either the white clover or the pink clover. I choose the white clover because it also has an added benefit that in the springtime, when I go to till it under, a lot of times it will have blossomed, and that's an early nectar source for honeybees. So it serves a multiple purpose. But another thing is that a cover crop is meant to protect the soil, because anytime you have bare soil, what happens is it opens the soil up for erosion and leaching. And those are two really major problems that we have in our modern day basically agricultural system, is that we really don't take care of the soil all that much. So what we like to do is as stewards of the land, we like to cover the soil so that spring rains and fall rains and winter melts and winter snow don't leave the soil barren, because that will happen over time. So in the process of putting a cover crop in, no matter if it's a tarp, if it's a raised bed, I sometimes will put a tarp over it even, because all you're trying to do is keep the elements off of the soil. Because what happens is that the rain will actually, wow, I got some really high winds rolling through here. What happens is the rains will actually pound on the soil, the bare soil, and it will drain through the soil. And what happens is, if it drains right through the soil, sometimes it'll carry nutrients with it. It'll carry nutrients deep down into the soil that your plants won't have access to in that top 5 to 6 inches of soil. And that's called leaching. Now another thing is runoff. If you have very heavy clay soil, and a lot of people have heavy clay soil, what happens is when it packs down, it prevents kind of like a hard pack. And when it rains, it actually will run right off. That causes erosion and also causes nutrient runoff, which is all the nutrients that are sitting on the top, in the top very fertile layer of the 1 to 2 inches of very fertile topsoil. That all gets washed away. So you really do want to cover this soil. So what I'll do is oftentimes, in the sense of my perennials, I have a beautiful bed of very thick strawberries, which will be taken care of. I gotta weed out some runners, and by weeding out, I'm just gonna make another strawberry bed, and I'm just gonna begin slowly converting this into a perennial garden. Basically something that always has cover. So these will never, they will die back, but they will still offer cover to the soil. I'm going to use a mulch as a cover crop, and the mulch is going to be a partially finished compost. And what that's going to do is going to offer the same benefits as a cover crop. It's going to protect the soil from leaching. But also what it'll do is it'll slowly break down over the winter time. It'll insulate the soil so that worms can stay up in the top layers of soil and work on decomposing over the winter. And then when the spring melts come and the snow recedes, it will be a very nice, rich, fertile soil for you. And that's a great option as well if you don't have cover crops or you don't want to go through the effort of turning your cover crops over in the springtime. This is a great way to plant and then just be ready to grow. So that's what we're going to do today. So come on, I think we're going to get some rain pretty soon, so let's hurry up and get this job done. All right, so I have my compost here, and this compost is basically just an accumulation. Over the year, I've basically gathered up some leaf clippings and mulched leaves, reclaimed potting mix that we didn't use anymore, and just kind of re-amended it, mixed it all together. There's even stuff from old mulch that had rotted. And so this compost mixture here is what we're going to throw on the beds. It's partially compost because you can see some bits and pieces of leaves and twigs and stuff, and those are all going to break down. There's also actually broken down compost which will amend and feed the soil, and then basically that will kind of the particle size will be sorted out, because you'll notice that over the time when it gets wet, it will actually the bigger pieces and bits will actually rise to the top like stones and twigs, and the smaller little bits will actually settle down. That's just because settling occurs from smallest particle size to biggest particle size. So the finished compost will actually seep down. It will make your soil very rich and soft and loamy. And then the twiggier stuff that's not yet composted will actually act as the mulch and protect it. So you can actually benefit from adding this because it will serve multiple purposes. So I'm just going to throw this on here. And this is actually all I do to prep my beds for spring or winter, whichever one you're calling it, but basically it's the same thing. I'm prepping it for the off season and getting it ready for the growing season. And this is all I do. It's so simple, and it's very stress-free. I know a lot of times people try to do things as cost-effective, and let me tell you what, this is pretty cost-effective because this is 100% free. I basically go along the street anytime people have raked up leaves, or they have mulched leaves with their lawnmower, or mulched grass clippings with their lawnmower. Since I don't have the capability to collect my grass clippings, I basically go along and collect other people's. And one man's trash is another man's treasure, basically what I say. And it seems to be working out pretty well for me. Well, there you go. There are 3 simple ways for getting your garden ready for the winter or next growing season. I hope you all enjoyed, and go plant a cover crop, go spread some unfinished compost, or go plant some perennials, and I'll catch you all later on next episode. Thank you all for tuning in for this episode out at MIgardener. Hopefully you all are having a great day. Hopefully you all are growing big or going home. I'll catch you all later. See ya. Bye.